Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. Hey, today we're going to do something very special and also very cool. We are not going to be comparing the sets that you're going to see in this video, but in fact we are going to be comparing the plastic interlocking tank tracks and treads made by both Lego and Cobi. And if you're asking why am I doing this, well, recently I picked up a few of those Cobi World War II tanks, and it was amazing to see the quality of the interlocking plastic tracks they are using. Now, some people say, well, are they Lego quality? They are actually better than Lego quality. How can that be? Especially since Cobi is now owned by Bestlock? I know. It seems that Bestlock hasn't really been putting their fingers into Cobi's operational stuff. So Cobi can keep making the high quality stuff that they make, which is just about Lego quality, and in this case they can be innovative and make something that is even better than Lego quality. So let's hope Bestlock just keeps their hands out of it, otherwise Cobi will be ruined and will become the quality of Bestlock. Let's hope that does not happen. I would like to see Bestlock's quality come up since they added Cobi. Maybe Cobi will rub some good quality off on them, and then Bestlock will actually be okay. But until then, I'm not going to have anything good to say about Bestlock, because if you remember from every Bestlock video I've ever done, I found bad and broken and misshaped pieces. But this video isn't about Bestlock. Today we're going to talk about Lego, Lego Technic, and Cobi small army tank sets. And I think you're going to be amazed. If you are not a big Cobi fan, or if you know nothing about Cobi, or if you are a Lego-only fanboy, you are going to be amazed. And really, if you're a Lego-only fanboy, you're going to be mad that Lego let Cobi make something better than they did. So you better get on the phone or get on the email to Lego and say, hey, you guys better step it up because Cobi has just passed you when it comes to interlocking plastic tracks and treads. All right, so let's set the stage. On the side of Lego and Technic, we're going to be looking at the Lego Technic Excavator, set number 42006, and we're going to be looking at the slightly smaller, the quite a bit smaller, Lego Technic Track Crane, which is set number 9391. And truly, until I found these Cobi sets, I actually believe that when it comes to non-rubber tracks, that these two sets were the pinnacle of quality and innovation. But I have found out otherwise. Now for the Cobi Small Army sets, the green tank you will see here is set number 2438, which is the T-3476. Also, we will be seeing the Panzer Troop set 2440, and that's this desert camouflage tank, and the black treads, which are slightly smaller. They come off of the M4 Sherman set, which is set number 2437. These are all the newer Cobi World War II tank sets. And the tanks are actually pretty amazing. We'll talk about them in a future video. We can't talk about any Lego tanks yet because Lego doesn't make tanks. But if you remember some of the Chinese sets that I've been reviewing, we are going to reverse engineer them and turn them into Lego tanks. But let's talk about the treads today, these tracks, because they are amazing. And if you've ever had a Technic set and you put the tracks together, you said, wow, this is a lot better than the rubber tracks, you are going to be even more floored and flabbergasted by the amazing quality of these Cobi tracks. And really quick, for those of you who are not all that familiar with the interlocking plastic tracks, they are little bitty pieces that interlock to form one great big track. Very similar to the chain on the motorcycle in the Lego Technic sets, a little bit bigger. These tracks allow you to build a tracked vehicle without having to use a single piece of rubber. And if you remember from a lot of my other videos, sometimes the rubber comes marred or cut or even broken. Plastic interlocking tracks is the way of the future, or I should say is the way of the present, not the past. And if you've never had a brick set with a rubber track, here's the problem with them. It takes tension to hold the tracks on. You have to stretch it around the wheels, and then it makes it hard to drive and actually have the treads spin. On very smooth surfaces, they'll slide. On surfaces like this with a tablecloth or a piece of cloth, it's just going to drag the cloth. And with the rubber tracks, you have to use a certain amount of downward pressure to get them to turn. It's kind of a pain, but up until now, we really didn't have a lot of choices. But like I said, this is the future, or the present, or the future is now. And This is how they all should be as far as I'm concerned. And for those of you who say, well, I don't build Technic sets, I just build regular Lego sets. Well, I just found a Lego Ninjago set that has the plastic interlocking tank treads here. Now let's talk about the main differences between the Lego Technic tank treads and these Cobi tank treads. Well, the obvious one is, at least on the excavator, the Technic excavator, they're quite a bit bigger. Yeah, but that's size. If these tanks were bigger, they'd be bigger too. And on the little crane, the Technic crane, they're quite a bit smaller. The design is different on the Technic little crane as it is from the excavator. Is it because of size or is it because of style? Who knows? But they're a little bit different. No two are the same sort of thing. Now, I didn't open that Ninjago tank thing yet, but when I do, I'm guessing it's going to be a little closer in style to this small crane than it is to the big excavator. And really, one of the main differences between the Lego Technic interlocking tracks and the Cobi tracks, it's the way they connect. They connect differently, and it's the way they operate. The Lego Technic tracks, or treads, are designed to be fairly snug. They're not super tight like you have to do with the rubber tracks, but they are fairly snug. Whereas the Cobi ones are loose, and it's this looseness in the track which allows it to drive over soft surfaces and blankets and rugs and tablecloths, as well as smooth surfaces without dragging. They spin perfectly fine. Where the Lego ones, you kind of have a problem with that. Not the same kind of problems you have with the rubber tracks, but still, it is not as good as the Cobi ones. And it's not necessarily the tank track design, it's the tank design and how the treads fit on there. Now your big question is, well, wait a minute, if they fit loosely, how do they stay on? Because really, they're fairly snug on the Technic sets in order to stay on. They kind of have that little tensioner thing built into them, which keeps them snugly on. So what's the deal with the Cobi ones? The Cobi tracks use kind of a tongue and groove setup, which allows them to be loose, some people would say sloppy, and still stay on track without popping off. That's amazing. And if you say, well, why do I want to be loose and sloppy? Because that allows you to drive these tanks or whatever vehicle has this style of treads over all kind of terrain, from dirt to tablecloths to blankets to smooth surfaces. It's that style, the tongue and groove style, which allows it to actually operate in this slightly looser manner. And if that all sounds a little weird or technical for you, let's just say these tank treads are not tight, but they fit perfectly because the tongue and groove holds them perfectly in the slot without falling off. If you've ever had rubber treads before, you have to, on smooth surfaces, you'll have to give considerable pressure to get them to turn, and then sometimes it's that turning and that pressure that will have the treads pop off. Kind of a bummer. So when Lego Technic came out with the interlocking treads, said, wow, that's amazing, we're going to have to build all the Chinese tank sets with rubber treads using the Technic plastic interlocking tracks. That's just opened up whole new doors and avenues, and it is amazing. And something else that I probably should say right now, I'm not cheering and being a cheerleader for Cobi. Cobi is almost Lego quality. Cobi has some good sets. They have some not so good sets. Cobi brick quality, when it comes to clutching and gripping and building, they are just as good as Lego's is. That's not a problem. It's the fit and finish on some Cobi bricks which doesn't meet the Lego standards. You'll see little nubs or little things where the injection molding kind of happened. So the brick quality, at least aesthetically, the way it looks, is maybe 90% that of Lego. It's just looks. And looks are important because we build these things to look cool as well as be functional. Cobi has always been functional, and they just need to get their brick quality up a little bit more when it comes to aesthetic value and how they look. So really there are two big differences when it comes to the Lego Technic tracks and the Cobi tracks. One is the actual tank track design. They're both interlocking pieces of plastic. They interlock differently, and therefore they look differently, but also the way how they fit on the vehicle, whether they're going to fit loosely or snugly. And if they're fitting loosely, they have to be a tongue and groove style or have something to keep them where they're supposed to be. Because you're driving a tank down the road and you throw a tank tread, your tank is a sitting duck and it will get blowed up. Or in Lego Technic, if you are working a construction site and your excavator throws a tread there, you're not going to be able to do your job. So the two differences are design of the actual track or tread itself and the way they actually go on the vehicles. Two important differences. They both work for what they are, but in the case of the Lego Technic sets, since they fit more snugly, they are not optimum for spinning and driving as compared to the more loosely fitting Cobi tracks. And there's another thing I want to mention at this time. It's that Cobi sets are not that readily available here in the US, and I hear they're even harder to find down in Australia. I've heard possibly, and this might just be a rumor, I've heard possibly that Toys R Us has stocked some Cobi sets, but I have not seen that yet. I've seen they've stocked some Banbao sets, and I don't know why they wouldn't stock some Cobi sets, because Cobi's a lot better quality than Banbao. Banbao's still good for what it is, but it's not Cobi quality, and it certainly isn't Lego quality. You can always buy them online, whether you're in Australia or if you're here in the US, but Cobi really needs to get into the US market. There's one other problem with Cobi sets, and it's because they're not so readily available here in the US. They cost so much. An average Cobi set will actually cost more than an average Lego set. I know, that's amazing. Well, not amazingly good. That's amazingly bad, because I'm always complaining about the high cost of Lego sets, and my friends in Australia, they cost even more. So Cobi, you need to move into the US North American market, start selling some of these amazing products here, the price will come down, Lego will see the price come down, and then maybe Lego will start making some cool military sets too. It'll help competition. So even if you've never had an intention of buying a Cobi set, if Cobi moves into the market with great innovative things like these interlocking plastic track, then it's really going to help Lego to be innovative to stay ahead of the game. And a quick note here to my good friend Lego Small Potato. You may have never seen a Cobi set that you were super interested in buying, but you might want to take a look at these World War II tanks. Yes, I've heard they might look a little cartoonish and slightly off scale. They work well with minifigs, but really, these interlocking plastic tracks and tank treads here, they are amazing and they are better than Lego quality. If for no other reason, you might want to look at one of these just for that innovation. And Cobi, you're coming into your own. You better get in here and spread through the US market, or you're going to lose the small market share you already have here in the US, because the Chinese companies are really pushing hard and making some good products too. If some Chinese brick companies take this design, and let's just say it, if the Chinese brick companies steal this tank tread design, then Cobi, you'll never be able to succeed here in the US, because those Chinese sets are so cheap and nobody knows the Cobi name. I'm surprised how many times people say, Cobi, what's that? And Cobi has some good sets, and now they have the Cobi Bricks Trash Pack sets, which we'll review one of those later. So yeah, Cobi is another one of those sets which is just about Lego quality, that pretty soon there was going to be no difference between Cobi and Lego. Cobi was bought by Bestlock, and Bestlock is definitely not the best quality. I like to refer to them as worst lock. So let's hope Cobi's quality stays up and actually helps improve the quality at Bestlock. Alright, so, have you seen these sets before? Some of you might have seen them before. Some of you may never have heard of them before. Think about it. What if there is a non-Chinese company making very cool battle tanks? And not the crummy Bestlock. Sherman, oh, that was horrible. So what if there's an amazingly high-quality company making something like this? Making the sets that you wish Lego made, but Lego doesn't make. And not only are they just about Lego quality, these interlocking tank treads, I have not said enough, I cannot say enough, are actually better than Lego quality. The design is amazing. So Lego, hey, get on the ball. Cobi is passing you up when it comes to this sort of thing. Now, do you already own some Cobi sets? From what I'm hearing, a lot of these Cobi sets I've reviewed are older sets. Now, Cobi is made in Poland, and a lot of the older sets I have, it doesn't even say made in Poland. It says made in EU. But on these, it says made in EU, made in Poland. It says both of them. Cobi has some really cool sets, some great military sets, some sets that Lego won't make. And you know, that Mega Bloks Call of Duty battle tank, if it had tank treads like this, and maybe I'll try to put them on there, if it had interlocking tank treads like this, that would be a super, super, super amazing set that nobody would be able to touch, but it falls short because it uses rubber treads. Yeah, I know. All right, so we talked about quite a few things here, and we stepped on quite a few toes. So if you're a Lego-only person or a Lego fanboy, you might want to get a hold of Lego and say, hey, Cobi is passing you up when it comes to these tank treads. Or you can just put your foot down and say, no, I'm lying. Well, hey, I can't lie on this. It shows for itself. These are amazing, and Lego should have thought of this first. Yeah, that's pretty sad. So, leave your comments in the comment section. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Have you seen this set? Do you want this set? Do you already have this set? A couple of you already do, because I've seen your videos on it. So, leave those comments in the comment section. And hey, as always, thanks for watching. And Lego, Cobi just passed you up when it comes to plastic interlocking tracks and treads. How's that make you feel?
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.